Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me here on The Entrepreneur. This show is focused on entrepreneurship and discussing, different things about entrepreneurship. What the topic is going to be about entrepreneurship and relationships. That's a topic that's not so much discussed about with entrepreneurs and them having relationships with a significant other, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, or a wife, fiance, whatever. Um, that's something I want to touch on with that, and that's an important topic to discuss. Also, what I would like to think before we begin the show, what I would like to think is the my subscribers who subscribe to the show. I thank you for subscribing to the show and continue to do so and encourage others to do so as well. Also, I like to thank those who made comments and I like to thank you guys for making comments. I like to thank Tammy Hill from Worthington, Minnesota, for her nice comment that she put down, and also like to thank my friend Jason, who's from out there in New Jersey, where I used to live. Both of us attended Emmanuel Ethiopian Orthodox Church in West Orange, New Jersey. I miss that church. I miss fellowshipping with many of the patrons of that church. I also miss hanging out at our favorite restaurant, Misab, which is in Montclair, New Jersey. It's a very good Ethiopian restaurant. If you ever go to New Jersey, go there. You'll really enjoy the food there. Also, please like the video. Click the like button. Also, subscribe to the video and share the video with others. And don't forget to click onto the notification so you know when future videos will come to play. Now let's get into the show. This is a topic I always was concerned about because if you're understanding with the entrepreneur, the let's say for example, an entrepreneur that's married, the divorce rate for entrepreneurs is like about 48%, I believe. About 48%, which is a high rate, almost close to 50%. There's various reasons why the divorce rate is high amongst entrepreneurs. I'm just going to dab into that a little bit. I'm not going to go into it too much. Also, it's critical that people who get involved with an entrepreneur must understand the trials and tribulations the entrepreneur have to go through in order to create his or her business. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication and commitment, well planned out thoughts and blueprints and plans, whatever is necessary to help that business grow and become a successful business. So not sometimes relationships can be to the side, it can be on the back burner at times. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. Another thing, a lot of people think, oh, if they began to date an entrepreneur, once they hear the title, oh, he's an entrepreneur, oh, wow, this is exciting. I'm dating somebody who's his own boss or her own boss, or whatever the case may be. But people don't realize the work that an entrepreneur puts into his or her business to make that business a successful business, to make that business thrive, make that business achieve what it's supposed to achieve as to be a self-sufficient entity. And what it boils down with some relationships, some people just don't understand that, it takes a lot of commitment from the entrepreneur to make that business a success. So there are pros and there are cons with having a business. And I'm going to go into some of the pros and cons. Like one of the pros is being the boss. controlling your own destiny, controlling your own self-worth, um, being able to the entrepreneurial lifestyle is very attractive. Being to be able to work for yourself, being to dictate your path, your career path, or your ability to earn and to create things. An entrepreneur is very creative. Creative, excuse me, is very creative. They do things on a creative level. They create. They make things happen. Create things that no would a consumer never would ever dream of having, or something that would attract a consumer because they want it. They always on a creativity level of how can they expand their business, what new ideas can they come up with. And that takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus, um, and that may take away a lot from a relationship. Also, a boss, he or her have the honor and privilege to influencing and helping others to achieve their goals, and giving leadership and giving guidance and purpose. That's one of the things leaderships, excuse me, not leadership, but entrepreneur uh, offers. Also, the freedom to create, schedule their own workload, um, you know, being able to do whatever they want when they want to, and not be subjugated to a schedule, a work day schedule, a 9 to 5 work day schedule. You create your own work schedule. You decide how much you want to work and what you want to put into your endeavors. So, those are one of the things, and also his or her ability, uh, earning capacity to determine their creativity, their self worth, to be masters of their own financial stability, to make as much as they want. They're not confined to a what you say a salary, because when you at a job you make a salary and you have a certain cap, and where you can go as far. Let's say, for example, you're making a six-figure salary for let's say 120,000 a year. Depending on the certain type of job, your cap may be at 160. That's the furthest you can go. With an entrepreneur, you can make extreme amount of money, but you got to put the work into it. You got to put the work, and you have to put the effort into making that business thrive, to make it lucrative. Okay, an entrepreneur is very driven, goal orientated, driven. Um, you know, ambitious. These are things that's qualities of an entrepreneur. Um, and these are things that attract a potential mate, because they see this as, wow, this person is controlling their destiny. They doing what they got to do, and it's very attractive to people who want to get involved with an entrepreneur, because they control their destiny. They're their own boss. They rule their own, what I call their own private society. They're not part of any social construct where they are forced to do what everybody else do. They make their own destinies, and that's that becomes very attractive to some people. Some people like that. Also, you know, now there's cons with this. Okay, now being the boss, you're always busy. You always have to focus on how to make your business run successfully, how to get things in order, how to make clients be more interested in what your company can produce or give to them as a value. Um, Also, as an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to manage your money, because your money is the essence of your company. Because if you can't manage your money, your company is not going to excel. You have a high stress level of worrying about your business, if it's going to fail, if it's going to flop. It can become very stressful at times. And if an entrepreneur can't manage their money flow, their business just goes down the drain. So it's a lot of stress. There's a lot of worries, a lot of fears, and sometimes you're up all night, figuring out what you're going to do, and how you're going to achieve your goals. Um, these are things. Your business depends on your ability to manage your money, and if you have poor money management skills, you're not going to succeed. It is what it is. Um, Also, a lot of people don't understand that, there's a lot of stress dealing with a business. I mean, it's phenomenal amount of stress. It's always worries. It's always, do I have enough product? Do I have, where's the creativity levels on this business? Do so and so, my executive vice president, is he or she running the business to the level that it should be run? What do we need to do to make the business successful? It's a whole lot of things you need to worry about. Now, as towards the relationship part, you need to have somebody who understand what you're trying to do. What is your goals as an entrepreneur? You need to have someone who's there with you when the business is at its peak and it's successful, and who's with you when the business starts to flop and it's starting not to be successful, and you're trying to fight to keep it going. And that can put a toll on the business. On the relationship. Too many people, when they hear that you're an entrepreneur, the first thing they think, not everybody thinks like that. Let's get that established here right now. But there are some who do. They think because you're an entrepreneur, yeah, you have the freedom and you have the ability to travel whenever you feel like it. But if your business is at a level that is failing, you need to concentrate on how you can bring it back from its default. And a lot of people can't deal with that because they think because you're supposed to always get. There's plus and downsides of owning a business. It can be stressful. It's a lot of work that you put into making it become a successful business. There's you don't have the time all the time to be around somebody. I wouldn't say 24/7, but you don't have the time to be around your significant other all the time, because you have to keep this business afloat. You have to be part. This business is part of you. It's part of your identity. It's part of your creativity. It's part of what you're trying to achieve for yourself, your family, your community. It plays a big toll. Excuse me. And a lot of people don't understand that. And you have some people that's you get involved with in a relationship as an entrepreneur. They're selfish. They don't take the understanding that the work that you have to do. They think because you're an entrepreneur, you can just leave your job. Not just leave your business whenever you want to and just spend a whole lot of time. No, you can't do that. You have a business to have to run. Especially if you're trying to run a successful business. You have a business you have to run. You don't have time to be running around after somebody and, going out to dinner dates all the time. An entrepreneur, let's just be honest, everything is planned. Everything they do is planned. Sometimes they have to pencil you in. The thing is, can you deal with it? Can the significant other party, can they deal with that? Entrepreneur is very demanding. They have to be demanding. Very assertive. These are things that they have to These are things that makes an entrepreneur. And a lot of relationships fail is because the other party don't take the time to understand the entrepreneur where he or she has to go in order to make their business successful. They don't try to understand the what it takes to make their business, why they are driven to make their business go, why they seem to constantly always focus on the business itself, and why are they not paying enough attention to me and stuff like that. I mean, let me just share something with you. Back in 2018, I was dating a woman. She's of Eritrean descent. Very beautiful woman, intelligent, come from a very good family. She's also kind of career orientated. I mean, we were good for a while, but then at that time I was at my stage, at my blueprint stage to start my business. She didn't know I was starting a business because that's the way I am. I don't tell everybody everything. Um, so we would, I would go out sometimes. Yes, I can afford to pay hundred some dollar dinner. But why I'm going to do that? My money needs to be in my resources. My money is part of my resources, and that's for my business. It's for the growth. I cannot constantly be going out on dates, and it was getting tedious where she always wanted to go out all the time. And there's times I did not want to go out because I'm focusing on my business. I'm researching. I'm figuring out how to structure the business. What do I need to do to start with the finances and stuff of that nature? Um, and she said some things that I didn't like, and I just felt that I can't grow with this individual. We're not going to go any further. So I ended the relationship, and unfortunately, I had to do. I didn't want to, but I had to. My business is my everything, and if I have someone who don't support my dreams, then it makes no sense being in a relationship with that individual. You might as well move on and move forward. And two, you need someone, or if you get involved in a relationship, you need that individual to understand. They need to understand where you are. They need to be part of what you're doing. And I should say for some entrepreneurs, they just get too caught up in their business and getting it going and getting it started, and they lose track of the other party sometimes. That can be a con for an entrepreneur. Also, um, if my take, if you're a single individual, you have no children, you're not married, anything like that, I would say focus on your business first. Get your business to the level that you need to get it to before committing into a relationship, because a relationship can, depending on who you're dating or who you're marrying, can suck up your energy. And sometimes some of these individuals, not all, can be very selfish, and they don't try to understand where you are as an entrepreneur. It's crucial, it's critical that as an entrepreneur, if you decide to get involved in a relationship, you need to know each other. You need to let this person know up front, I'm about my business, I'm about doing things. There's going to be times I'm not going to be able to spend time with you. This is what it is. And, you got to be upfront with them. Just be upfront with them and tell them what it is. Now, either they can accept it or not. If they can't accept it, there's the door. See your way through it. It is what it is. And I'm sorry. I'm like that. And um, it's not like I don't care about the other party. I do, but this is my baby, my business. This is always something I wanted to do, and now I'm doing it. I'm hardcore with it. And I don't need somebody to be nagging me about, oh, you need to spend time with me, and we don't do this. I said, listen, I told you in the get-go, this is what it is. Now, if you You didn't have a problem at the beginning. And this is another problem I have with some people. They're for it in the beginning. They'll say, oh yeah, they're for it. Then when you start doing things, you start really working, you're hustling in your business, you're getting things doing, you're calling clients, and you talking to wholesalers and, you know, warehouses and whatever you're doing to get your business flowing. And you have a busy week. You got to get things rolling. And I don't have the time or luxury to be sitting on the phone talking to you every day. I just don't have that time. And this is the critical point. People have to understand what the entrepreneur is going through as to what's getting his or her business up and running. But at the same time, an entrepreneur has to take some time, has to take some R&R, and relax and be with your significant other. Spend some time with them. And you know what also can be good is that your significant other take the time to understand your business, know what you do as an entrepreneur. Show some interest that you're interested in the entrepreneur's business endeavors. Learn about the business. You know, maybe you want to work with them to help them become successful. It's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street here. And this is the things that need to be understood and discussed. Also, entrepreneurs who go into the business, before I get into that, young entrepreneurs that's starting out in their 20s and 30s, that are single, that's not married and stuff. Throughout your 20s, if you're going to pursue an entrepreneurship objective, your first thing is to get education. It's vital for an entrepreneur. Second, once you get the education, start working on your business plan. What are you going to do? What is the business you want to do? What service are you going to provide to your potential and future customers? That's one thing. And the third thing is do the grind. Get into the grind and get that business going. Your whole 20s should be focusing on getting that business up and running. By the time you hit your 30s, you should be in the $1 million category or close to it. And even in your 30s, and your business is growing, focus on that business. Now, if you decide to get married, you need to let the other party know where you stand, and can they deal with it. And if they can't, you can't get with that person. You got to move forward. You got to move forward and keep it moving. It is what it is. Now, if you start out in your entrepreneurship in your 40s, it's the same thing. Just you got to focus. And if you decide to get somebody involved in a relationship, you need to let that person know. I reiterate that so much. You have to let them know. If you are an entrepreneur and you're married and you have a family, it's rough because now you're juggling two different spheres here: the marriage life and family, and the business. Sometimes that can be a hard time, and sometimes it has caused high divorce rates amongst entrepreneurs who do get married. Who are married with children. Your spouse have to be able to support. You need to, before you even start the business, you need to sit down with your spouse and say, listen, I want to start this business. I have skills I need to get it going. I have some finances I can get it going. But it is going to be, sometimes I'm going to have to commit time to it. You need to ask your significant other, are they willing to go through the hardships with you in establishing the business? You need to have a sit-down talk, a serious sit-down talk with your spouse, and lay it down the road, what you want to do. Because when you start a business, your spouse has to get involved with that. I can't see starting a business and your spouse is not supporting you. Your spouse can make and break your business. So you need to be cognizant of that. Now, you know what? I hope this was very informational for you about starting your own, establishing a relationship with an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur having a relationship with a significant other or spouse. It's crucial that both parties respect each other's time and space. Both parties understand each other's driven goals and aspirations and support each other. Because if you're going to get in a relationship, you have to be there from good times to bad times, and you have to support each other's initiative. But I'd like to thank everyone who joined me here on The Entrepreneur. Once again, like the video, subscribe, share the video. Also click onto the notification to know when future videos come about. Also, next week I'm going to discuss about legal and entrepreneurship. It's going to be a show discussing about how the legalities of starting a business. Either you want to be a LLC or you want to be a sole proprietorship or a corporation. So you need to know the legal ramifications of doing that, the proper documentations and stuff that you need to know. So we're going to dib and dab on that next week. Also, I'd like to thank everyone who supported my show, and I thank all my audience, and please continue to watch the show, and please continue with your support. Once again, remember, make that money and prosper.